Hello everybody, my name is Tim Hughes. I am the Director of Communications for the Spirit Invest Group. Today I want to talk a little bit about the United States elections which are coming in November this year and their potential impact on South Africa now that we know who the candidates are. We know that Donald Trump will be facing off against Kamala Harris now that Joe Biden has decided not to run for a second term, which I think is a sensible thing to do. And it may seem some time away, but I do think that the relationship between South Africa and the United States is a pivotal relationship, and it makes a difference who the president is. So in brief summary, the one entity that we know is that of Donald Trump, because he served as president, obviously through 2016 through 2020. And during that time, South Africa's relationship with the United States deteriorated, and it deteriorated in two respects. Firstly, the Trump administration paid less attention to Africa and relatively little attention to South Africa. Secondly, ideologically, South Africa's foreign policy was certainly not aligned with that of the United States. Certainly, Trump administration is much more insular looking. Make America Great Again has an emphasis on the United States, and the focus of attention is the United States and its relationship with China and Europe. Less so in Africa. You may also recall that there was no United States ambassador to South Africa for the first few months of the Trump administration, and that indicates we're not a priority for the Trump administration. When the ambassador was finally appointed, with all due respect, she was a handbag manufacturer by tradition. She's not a politician and not an ambassador. So would it make a difference if there was a Kamala Harris presidency after November? I think what we can say is the Joe Biden presidency has been quite constructive for South Africa. South Africa has enjoyed the Biden administration. Biden is an international relations expert. He's traveled to South Africa. He met Madiba. He met Desmond Tutu. He's very, very well informed in international relations and indeed South Africa. We don't have the same with Kamala Harris, and certainly not any idea about the orientation of her running mate, Tim Walz. So it's a little bit of an unknown entity. But we do know that the Democrats are much more orientated towards African affairs, and therefore I think we could expect a constructive relationship. Finally, it's important in two very material ways. Firstly, South Africa enjoys the benefits of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA. Now that is up for renewal next year. And frankly, if there's a Republican president and a Republican Congress, South Africa's position and the benefits we get from AGOA will come under question and come under scrutiny. Secondly, the Republicans do not like South Africa's foreign policy orientation. They don't like our orientation towards China, possibly towards the BRICS, and they certainly don't like our policy towards the Middle East and the fact that we went to the International Court of Justice to have Israel condemned in terms of conducting genocide in Gaza. So it is important for us, and in the group, the Spirit Group and the underlying companies will be following the election campaign very, very carefully, particularly the debates that are going to come up in September. The United States election is very, very important, and we need to stay on top of these issues. We'll talk about other topics relevant to South Africa in the next video.